What's good, y'all? We are back for episode 2 of our Philly 10K build. About 7 weeks away now. So for this week's video, I want to go into my training routine, or what a week of training looks like for me. And before we get into the actual plan, I'm just going through a quick introduction by first just touching on how to find or how to create the correct training plan for yourself. And then also I want to give you some information on what I will be doing, and then I'm gonna read from the book here, Science of Running, different type of running workouts that I'll be getting into. So when it comes to creating your routine or your training plan, you want to make sure that it's the training plan that you're going to stick to consistently. You don't want to be jumping into this plan, jumping into that plan. You want to stick to something that's going to be consistent, that's going to work with you, and also something that's going to align with your goals and where you're looking to go with your training. Whether if you're looking to build a certain physique or train for a certain endurance race, you want your training to align with that goal. Now, for my training split specifically, I go 4 days of strength training. I also have a calisthenics day, so you can say 5 days of strength training, and then I will go 3 days of running. So Monday, I go into an upper body, more so anterior or push focus day. Still some back is in there, but a little bit more push emphasis. And then I'll do some plyometrics towards the end of that workout. Mondays, my legs are normally freshest, so that's when I try to get my plyometrics in. But this helps with injury reduction and also propulsion, so that I can keep on running and continue to get faster. So that's my Monday, strength training, more upper body, and then I go into some plyometrics following that session. Tuesday, I have a 5 a.m. Easy run. I'll be getting into or 5 a.m. pace change run. I'll tell you in a minute what that is. And then I come into the gym. I do a posterior focused leg day. So that's pretty much more hamstring and glutes. And then Wednesday is that calisthenics day, where I'm more so doing push-ups, pull-ups, some dips, some TRX rolls. I do add a little bit of resistance, but mainly focusing on tempos with those. And I do some core and some arms towards the end of that workout. Thursday, I have another 5 a.m. run. I'll be getting some more interval-based training with some VO2 max, anaerobic, and also some hill training. Again, I'll go into the book, give you some information on what that entails. And then I come into the gym and do another leg day. I go more anterior focused. And then for Friday, it's a upper body, more posterior chain, and also shoulder support or shoulder stability work. So that's going to be Friday again, upper body. And then I'll do some recovery work on the bike just to get my legs ready for Saturday's long run. I'll normally just pretty much long run. For these next 4 weeks, I'll be going 6 miles, 7 miles, 7 miles, and then 5 miles by week 4. And pretty much for weeks 2 and weeks 3, we have more interval for those longer runs, and we have a little bit of pace change work as well within the longer runs. So great work coming up. I'm excited. We're on this video will be week 1 of what I recently did this past week. So I'll show you the whole workout plan in a second. However, I do want to come back and just go over what pace change work is, and then also I want to go into what the interval based work would be for my running sessions, as again I'm running 3 days out the week. So when we get into our pace change work, it's pretty much we're alternating between slower and fast paces during continuous running. They can be done over any distance or duration, and the pace variations can be structured or spontaneous. The benefits of these runs will teach the body to run fast without complete recovery. If the fast sections are faster than lactate threshold, causing lactate to build up, the slow twitch muscles that are activated in the slower sections clear the lactate accumulation. This improves your muscles' ability to use lactate as fuel. When to do it: when you begin pace change runs, there may be only 5 to 10 minutes of fast running with your continuous run. As your fitness improves, you can increase the volume or the pace of the fast sections, the volume of the overall run, or the pace of the slower recovery sections. Being able to keep the pace of the recoveries closer to the fast pace or to decrease their duration indicates that your muscles have improved their ability to clear lactate. So pretty much, you're getting faster, you're able to recover faster, and then you can continue to remove that lactate, use it as fuel, and keep on getting faster and have greater endurance at those faster paces as your training continues. Next up, we'll get into our interval training. So we have VO2 max, and then we also have anaerobic capacity training. So VO2 max training, the intensity of these workouts is lower than anaerobic capacity interval training, but higher than lactate threshold. Long, fast sections alternate with relatively short recovery periods, which are of equal or half the duration of these sections. Interval training, also I want to come back and just go to interval training real quick. Interval training is pretty much involves alternating periods of fast running with periods of recovery. The fast sections are intense and the recoveries are light. It is performed at various intensities, but anaerobic capacity and VO2 max are most important for distance runners. Again, straight from the book, so we touched on what VO2 max is. Let's go over what the benefits are. The benefits of VO2 max: it improves the heart's ability to pump a higher volume of blood and the muscle's capacity to absorb more oxygen, thereby increasing your VO2 max. It improves your speed over the 5K and 10K distances and helps marathoners who are slower over shorter distances and are plateauing at their marathon pace. Marathoners with fast 5K and 10K race times will be better served with training that is closer to lactate threshold. How to do VO2 max training. The intensity of these workouts typically correlates with an RPE, or rate of perceived exertion or challenge level, of a 6 or 7, a heart rate reserve of 91 to 94%. That gets to a little specific, but definitely going through that RPE of like really challenging yourself at a 6 or 7, you'll really know if you're getting into the VO2 max training. The hard sections last between 20 to 2,000 meters or 30 seconds to 6 minutes in duration. So again, that's VO2 max training. Next up, as we get into anaerobic capacity training, this type of interval training is performed at a level of intensity that results in very high levels of lactate in the muscles. Short, fast sections are interspersed with longer recovery periods lasting 2 to 4 times the duration of the fast sections. The benefits of anaerobic: this workout helps increase the amount of energy produced by the anaerobic energy systems. So that's more so without oxygen. Anaerobic is without oxygen, which is more fast twitch. Aerobic is with oxygen, that's more slow twitch muscle fibers. Think when you're doing more endurance workouts, you're mostly using your aerobic muscles or muscle fibers. When you're doing like sprints or anything that's quick and bursty, you're using more anaerobic. Back to the reading. So pretty much going to recap the benefits. The workouts help increase the amount of energy produced by the anaerobic energy system. The high effort involved in anaerobic capacity training has a direct effect on improving speed over shorter distances. So it benefits 5K and 10K goal distances, so pretty much 3 to 6 miles. For half marathon and marathon training, hill reps at 100% intensity may be more beneficial. All right, so how to do the anaerobic capacity work. Perform the fast sections at the fastest pace you can maintain without slowing down as the workout progresses. This will result in a heart rate valve close to 100% at the end of the workout, and RPE of 8 or 9. Only flat sprinting and the final burst in a race have a higher RPE score. All right, and then one other component of training that we'll get to would be hill training. Hill training you can perform hill training either by running up and down a gradient or over-rolling terrain. It can be done at any effort and duration. You can perform intervals, fast continuous runs, and even long runs on hills. Unless you only race on flat, hill training is to prepare you fully for your target event. So hill runs, the increased effort required by hill training involves aerobic and muscular conditioning, race preparation, and running form. The benefits of hill training: engages a high percentage of muscle fibers, leading to increased muscular power. In particular, strengthens the muscles around the knee, as uphill running works the calves, hamstring, and glutes, while downhill puts more emphasis on the quads. Hill training is a great way to improve the elements of good running form, emphasizing tall posture, a slight forward lean, a high cadence, and striking the ground beneath your center of mass helps you overcome ground resistance running uphill, while also decreasing impact forces as you run downhill. Performing vigorous short hill sprints can also increase heart stroke volume, which is the amount of blood pumped by the heart in a single contraction. That's important because our blood pretty much pumps, or our heart pumps blood, and pretty much that cycles nutrients, oxygen to the working muscles, helps to clear the lactate, use it as fuel, so that we can continue to run at a certain pace or at a certain distance over time and continue to improve. Now, how to do hill training? Find a hill of the right incline and distance for your workout. If the hill is not long enough, decrease the duration of the uphill sections and increase the number of repetitions. If you do not have access to a hill or an inclined treadmill, you can increase the resistance of the workout by running on a soft surface such as sand or grass. Paces are difficult to translate from flat to hilly terrain, so these workouts are best done by effort. perhaps assisted by a heart rate monitor rather than pace. For any given workout, run at the best effort you can maintain without having to slow down. As the session progresses, at the end of the workout, you should feel as though you could give 10% more if you had to. So that's pretty much going to be the basis of these next 4 weeks of running. I'm also going to be doing some easy running too. Again, primarily just focusing on building that aerobic base. So I'm continuing to increase my endurance and my overall fitness. And then over time, that'll help with my aerobic speed. So being able to maintain a faster pace while keeping my heart rate relatively on the lower end. Mainly about 140 to 150 is my aerobic target whenever I'm doing my easy run. So that's going to be the basis of the running portion. In terms of the strength, I'll be more so keeping upper body full blast, really going hard at it as I'm looking to build and increase my muscle within my torso and my trunk. And then for my leg days, I'm dialing it back just a little bit intensity. Still going to be focusing on strength and stability, but definitely not looking to kill my legs, as I definitely want my legs to be fresh for my running section. So let's get into the workout. Let's get into my workout routine for the week. Hope you are enjoying this video so far. So as we get into the strength training portion of this video, you'll notice I'm using a lot of slow tempos, and that is due to the fact that I'm following for week 1. A lot of my exercises will have a connective tissue remodeling tempo. I talked about this in a previous video. However, it's pretty much just helping to strengthen up my connective tissue to prevent injuries. It's still very challenging. The weights do come down. However, it's only 2 sets, slower tempos for this first week, allowing for a nice deload recovery week. However, still getting excellent work in within our strength training sessions. So it's Tuesday morning, June 30th. We're out 5 a.m. for our pace change workout. We're starting with 1 mile easy, and then we're going into 15 minutes of a pace change work. We got 1 minute at lactate threshold. That's going to be 165 to 172. And then we're going to go 4 minutes at easy pace. That is 140 to 150. Again, kicking off with a 1 mile warm up at 140 to 150 heart rate. So just finished up the pace change work, and it was pretty solid. I was able to get my heart rates in the target zones. I'm gonna check the pace pretty much when I complete my Strava for each working minute that I had at threshold, but pretty good. I like this flow, and pretty much each Tuesday for these next 4 weeks, I got 3 left. It'll build in time spent at that lactate. So week 2, I have 2 minutes at lactate with a 4-minute walk, and then week 3 I have 4 minutes at lactate threshold with a 4-minute walk, and then week 4 the intensity dials back to gear up for the next phase. So really liking this, using the program in Science of Running. It's pretty solid, pretty decent. A part of me definitely wants to do more. However, I'm really staying disciplined, staying focused that less can actually lead to more results in the future. So just having adherence to the program, to the work, and just following suit and not getting in my own way. But feeling pretty good. I got the Saucony endorphin speeds on today. Haven't worn these since the Love Run. Feeling pretty solid. I think these are definitely going to be my race day shoe as well. Enjoying this work, enjoying this progress. Great start to the day. Got to win your start, and what you do in the morning will follow suit for the rest of the day. And then to finish out today's work, we have 30-second strides with about a 1-minute walk for recovery. And just to finish out, work on technique, running economy, and just challenging the lactate threshold. However, these are more so done to be able to, hit that pace or get a feel for that pace that you're looking to get to. Push the heart rate a little bit, help your body just clear some lactate. And also I'm learning that you can utilize lactate for energy as well in your muscles in one of the books that I'm reading too. So some pretty good information, some pretty good work. And the purpose of these following a run, I would say for myself, is to be able to hit that pace even with slightly fatigued legs, and also just to work on correct form at higher paces and intensities. Solid work to start the day. Feeling good. I also did a stretch therapy session yesterday, which helped my legs feel really ready for today's session. Felt fast, felt controlled, felt smooth, especially with the strides that I finished out with. So got to the gym, got some coaching done for 2 sessions of the day, and now it's 9 a.m. getting my posterior focus leg day, and a little bit of anterior chain work too, a little more on the stability focus. a little more posterior focused leg day. Started off with some really good stability drills for the ankles, the hips, the core, the quads, help with the stability from the ankle, knee, and hips too. And pretty good movements, pretty good start so far. So I know those two movements look a little similar. However, with the first one, with the ankle or the elevated step down, I really love that one for strength up the inside of my ankles. I had some injuries there on the inside of my ankle into the Achilles. So that really helps with just strength up that area, preventing injuries and just leading to more stability when I'm running. And then that ball squat, that was the first time I've ever done it. Pretty solid movement. Definitely challenged the core, the hips, the quads, and even the calves in a little bit different way than I've experienced. So just finished my workout, getting my lunch in, and the thought came to me that, before my workouts for legs were a little bit too intense. However, this one today was perfect. Right amount of challenge. It is my deload week, so I'll see how it feels as the month progresses. However, pretty good challenge. Not too overly taxing my body, especially following the run today. And I really want to keep my lifts moderately challenging just so I can give max effort to my lifts to get the most out of that, to really prepare for my pacing of the Philly 10K. So it is Wednesday. Wednesday is not a training morning for me, as I work at PS&Co, plant-based vegan restaurant, Warehouse Square. Shifts from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then I'll be hitting the gym for a calisthenics and core day. Pretty much just focusing on strengthening up my trunk. And then, so just have a great day. Want to enjoy it. Looking forward to the day and the workout. All right, so solid day at PS&Co. We are now at the gym, about to get our third lift in or strength training session in of the week. I have my calisthenics, so really just focusing on core strength. I love calisthenics, and in my current weightlifting days, I don't really do any, so I like to have a day just strictly dedicated to primarily bodyweight work. I may add a little bit of resistance, such as some like weighted pull-ups or dips, or I may do some banded push-ups or put a plate or a sandbag on my back if I'm doing push-ups. However, I try to keep it more so body weight. I'll just switch it up. I love doing calisthenics, so great workout there. And also too, within my I use the Hume Smart Scale, and some of my scales, my trunk muscle is very low, or on the lower end. I won't say very low, it's on the lower end. So I'm looking to really dial in and strengthen up there. I haven't seen some good progress these last couple of months, so just looking to tighten up there. Add a little bit more muscle, very key for running. Having that core strength, good posture, just overall adds to the stability, the balance, and also takes a lot of pressure off the lower back. So core and trunk strength is definitely important. So today we got some push-ups, some pull-ups, some dips. I'll show the variations. We're also going to do a strictly abdominal workout towards the end. So let's get to it. Have a great session. So had a great workout, and as you can see, a lot of those movements really simple. Push-ups, push-ups, some pull-ups, some dips, some TRX rows, nothing too complex. However, really dialing in on form, technique, correct muscle activation, making sure that each rep counts, making sure that my proper muscles are targeted within each rep. And that's what really is going to translate to the strength, to building more muscle, and to really being strong, and also building more definition. So make sure you're getting those quality reps. But that's Wednesday. Got Thursday coming up tomorrow, another 5 a.m. run, another leg day, anterior focus. Just going to keep enjoying this week of training. All right, so it's Thursday, July 2nd. We are back outside. 5 a.m. run is about to go down, and we are currently in a heat strike in Philly, so it is 82 degrees at 5 a.m. So warm start to the day, and that is fantastic. Get to grow and improve and be a little bit more challenged, fight through a little bit of heat. Not as 102 degrees. That'll be later on today. However, still able to get some great work in. Today's workout, we got 2 easy miles, and then we're going some VO2 max work where we have 30-second hill sprints with a 90-second walk to rest and recover. 6 rounds of that. It's going to be a great workout today. I'm looking forward to it. A part of me really wants to go a little more than just 2 easy miles. However, I'm going to adhere to and follow the program that I am following. And strong workout, very smooth, very controlled. Like I said, it's hot out here. However, we still got great heart rate range. Pace was about a 9:14 average for the easy miles, and was hitting some really fast paces for the 30-second hill sprints. As y'all can see, sweaty, about to run in, take a shower, get to the gym. Today's lift is a little different. I have a 6:30 a.m. anterior focused leg day with 2 of my clients, so it should be good. Today's still my deload week, so nothing too intense, nothing too crazy. However, it's always fun locking on my clients' butt. So it is Friday, July 3rd. We are headed to the gym right now. Muscles on a detour. So got me a nice 20-minute walk-in. We got upper body today. Want to finish off the strength training portion of the week really well. We have a primarily pull or posterior chain upper body day with a little bit of shoulder stability mixed in as well, but it should be a great lift. Let's have a good workout. All right, so it is Saturday, July 4th. We got last workout of the week. Long run today, we're going 6 miles. I'm definitely trying to keep it at 6 miles and not go 7. However, if I do go 7, then that's just what it is. However, we got 6 miles on deck. Long run of the week. Last workout, we're gonna have a good time. Keeping it easy pace, aerobic function or aerobic base training. So 140 to 150, primarily around 147 will be my ideal target heart rate for today's run. However, let's have a good one and have some fun. So 6 miles complete. Pretty solid run. The original plan for today, when I mapped out this program, was to run the Ben Franklin Bridge today. However, with the heat in Philly and also my goal to really train my aerobic system and my aerobic endurance and stay between that 140 to 150, primarily around or below, just below 147, I chose to keep the route flat. Ran on Parkside, which is an area in Philly. Pretty flat course around the Please Touch Museum. if you are familiar with the area. However, pretty solid run. Felt good, felt smooth, felt easy. And one thing that I'm very proud of is that I'm having a lot of pain-free runs, which is pretty much my ultimate goal, especially after suffering from some injuries last year. So on the right track, on a great pace, and really enjoying the progress. However, that is a week of training. So I hope you enjoyed this week. Hope you enjoyed this video. And if you really liked it, you want to keep on learning, make sure you like, subscribe, and share with someone who you think can benefit from this information, who would like to follow along for this Philly 10K build series. This is episode 2, and I will check y'all on the next episode. Peace and love.